prior to the setup of the development management team, in essence, the general developer community, your Stuart Milne, your Barretts, your Robertsons homes, would have been treated in exactly the same way as your Mrs. Smith, who's building one house and they'll only ever contact us that one time.
Whilst we had probably put in place a structure that dealt with large volumes of applications, we didn't have a bespoke service that dealt with major customer requirements.
Customer connections sometimes miss the mark. We tend to forget about the needs of the larger developer because their needs vary considerably from smaller developers and single house developers. And I felt sometimes we were missing what was important to them, and I think we let them down at some stages.
So the formation of the development management team, we were all coming together, and it was about trying to get common goals and common aims, and just really seeing how we would work together to achieve those aims. We wanted to set down a charter that we could be measured against by our customers, which was really important, so we could stand up and say, we did promise we would do this, we did promise we would do that, and we've been able to deliver on it.
The development management team was set up in a slightly different way perhaps from what we were previously. We have a group of dedicated technical advisors who are supported by administrators. They in turn report into a team leader. One of the key differences with our team though is that we now have a small group of development managers that go out and meet with our customers on a regular basis and then bring that information back into the team to be acted upon.
The approach with the development management team is to recognise that these people, they need a different service from your Mrs. Smith. It's not a better service or a worse service, it's just a different focus, and being able to work directly with these developers and build relationships, A, makes their job a lot easier, and B, makes life a lot easier for the guys in the customer connections team to manage and work with these developers.
When we first started going out and meeting with these guys face to face, the same issues were coming up again and again and again. One of the things we wanted to address early on was setting up our team in a way that meant they had an easy route in. We didn't lose their paperwork. They knew who they were speaking to. They could always pick up the phone to the right person first time round. Some of the other issues were more complex and meatier. They were around maybe the manner in which we were dealing with the adoption of wastewater pumping stations, the manner in which we were dealing with the approval and adoption of SUDS features, or it may have been something just as simple as the gaining of reasonable cost contributions back into their company that we were due to give them. I think in our first year of having the team, we've dealt with all of these issues pretty competently, and I think one of the key bits of feedback we're getting from developers is that in doing that, we're building their trust and we're improving our relationship with them.
We can prevent any major issues or escalations from happening because we are constantly in contact with developers. We have very good one-to-one relationships with key people. Our technical advisors' relationships tend to be with their technical directors or technical managers. The liaison manager's relationship tends to be in the level above that to director, so we're always aware if something's rumbling, and we've got an opportunity then to step in and fix it.
More looking at things from their perspective, there are areas in the business who are less inclined, because they're not customer facing, to really see through issues or champion customer issues, but being in customer connections where customers that first word there, being able to focus on the customer that bit more closely and being able to challenge other areas of the business where it's easy to say no. I think that's a huge benefit to the developer community.
I think what built that relationship and trust with our customers was the human face. They had somebody from Scottish Water who was coming out to meet them every month, or more often if necessary. They could see that their actions, that their objectives meant as much to their development manager as it meant to them sometimes.
We all share the same team ethos, that we are there to facilitate a service for the customer, and the customer is always foremost in our thoughts when we are at work.
So previously we would be invited along to pre-development meetings where at the beginning it really did feel as if you were just another utility company getting invited along, whereas now, after a year of working with most of these guys, we now feel more of part of their team and an integral member of that process. I think that's probably a real testament to the change in relationship that we've had with these guys in the last year with implementation of the development management team.
We are always looking for innovative solutions to problems which arise daily, whether it's around network capacity or issues at receiving or treatment works. We challenge on behalf of the customer through pump station adoptions. More recently through SUDS, we can challenge any blockers or issues that come up which prevent them from having structures vested.
The business of Scottish Water has massively benefited, even in the 12 short months that the team's actually been together. Going to meet developers and speaking to them on a regular basis, you can tell from their own perspective and the general feedback that we're getting from it, there's been huge leaps and bounds in the last 12 months.
The overall satisfaction for our customers, I believe, is very good. We got results recently from an independent market research company which showed the development management team had an overall score of 93%, which is greater than the customer connection score of 86, which in itself was greater than the overall Scottish Water customer satisfaction score. I believe this firmly places us in the top tier of customer service providers.
The benefits of the new approach, really it's about getting closer to our customers, listening to them, speaking to them on a regular basis, giving them a face, giving them clear access to people that they can work with on a daily basis back in our team. We, I think, have provided our customers with a far more confidence that we're now there for them, that we're listening to them and that we're understanding them.
Kind of feedback that we're getting from developers, just the other day there, I got an email, just one quick line, "Good work, Mark," 4 exclamation marks at the end of it. It was something that they'd been trying to get to the bottom of for 4 years, and by having someone dedicating the team that can really focus on that issue, it took 2 days to sort out, and it's a big thumbs up from the developer.
I think some of the feedback that's coming in has been fantastic so far. We've had feedback in regarding the quality of service by our development management team at Balmoor Road. We had some great feedback about Fiona Campbell, one of our new technical advisors, recently from Ogilvy Homes, where a letter of commendation really came in from Scott Foran directly to Ian Russell, just to say, I just felt the need to write a letter of congratulations to you and your team for the service that you're providing these days. We've had similar experiences where we've maybe been at meetings with multiple developers where instead of certain individuals standing up and maybe criticising Scottish Water in general in front of their peers, they're now the absolute opposite. They're actually advocates for our service. Examples at, I think, a recent Perth and Kinross Council meeting where that was the case, and also the Homes for Scotland Reasonable Cost Contribution Workshop where David Scobie from Your Home stood up and gave a really glowing response to the service that we've currently been providing. And that's not to mention the last developer forum that we also ran as well, where I think we actually got a round of applause for the first time in our history, which was a good thing. So I think there's a lot of indicators out there showing that we're doing a really good job.
Yes, they're going out and meeting the guys regularly on a monthly basis. And yes, they're looking to us to support them in the office and delivering on what they're promising to these developers. But I don't think they're promising more than we can deliver. I think we're actually delivering more than we can promise.